Tommy was 93 years old, and I'm not sure if I told you this, Mark, but since I work at AM 570, one of the things that a lot of the Dodger reporters were noticing was like, hey, that's weird. Like, the Dodgers won the World Series, and Tommy Lasorda is nowhere to be found. And then shortly after, we found out that he was in the ICU. I want to say it was in December that he was released from the ICU, and like there was hopefully good things that were happening on his way. And unfortunately, he just passed away last week.
I remember years ago, I went to a Dodgers fan fest. Back before California shut us down and took away our freedoms and whatever people are marching for. I'm kidding about that. But anyway, years ago, Dodgers had the fan fest, and I remember Tommy was on stage. And he said that he wasn't going to die until the Dodgers won another World Series. And ever since then, I want to say it was like even like 15 or 16 when that happened. Ever since then, every single year since then, I've always been like dreading, like, oh gosh, please. And I think that's why it always hurt more when the Dodgers didn't win, because I'm like, man, it's going to suck because, like, Vin's up there, Tommy was up there at the time. And I just didn't want to see that happen without them seeing it. But the fact that the Dodgers finally did it, and Lasorda doesn't die the same year with the Dodgers winning it. He holds on and dies the next year, just so that way he can kind of like distance himself from it. I kind of feel. I mean, the guy was a strong guy. He was 93. The guy still had wit. He was still kind of there. And the fact that, like, I don't know who else other than Kobe Bryant is more of an LA icon than Tommy Lasorda. So it was going to be one of those moments where, I was ready. Like I was dreading it. I've always been dreading it, but I was always prepared for it, I guess you'd sort of say. But it's still a bummer. It's just a bummer that he's gone. But in a bittersweet way, I'm glad he was able to see the Dodgers win it one more time.
And another thing that you pointed up, probably another name, another LA icon could be Vin Scully. And it's so crazy that his wife, like, who is like 76, she passed away on January 4th or like January 3rd. So it like, I could only imagine the pain that Vin is going through from the years of broadcasting with Tommy Lasorda to the years with his wife. And Vin, he's just up high there for Tommy's age, So to know that his wife, who was 76, passed away, I mean, this guy probably had 2 heartbreaks in the span of a week.
How much does that suck, man? Like, you lose your wife, you lose one of your friends, and then it's like, okay, now it's me and Twitter. Like, maybe he starts getting crazy on Twitter now. Like, he starts drinking, he starts getting more reckless.
I heard this QAnon conspiracy theory. Imagine them going down that way.
Which would be kind of hilarious, but at the same time, because I get it, he's old, and it's usually like old white people that like take all that stuff seriously. I remember Vin was getting some slack on the internet because of Colin Kaepernick kneeling. When all that happened, I remember he was like, he kind of spoke out against it, and they're trying to crucify him, but everyone's like, dude, shut the hell up. It's Vin Scully. Like, leave him alone. And I remember that was the only time, Californians, Angelinos, whatever, it's a very liberal city. The one time they refused to cancel someone, they were just like, no, he's old. Leave him alone.
He doesn't know better. You brought up a very good point. The only thing that is true justice, the true equality justice scale, is cholos. Because cholos were the ones graffitiing on the side of the 10 West freeway heading towards Santa Monica. You saw graffiti up there saying, recall Gavin Newsom. And it takes a lot. Like, if a politician is hated by a lot of Mexicans, that's how you know they're corrupt. So, hats off to cholos for standing up for Vin Scully, because, look, you got to take it balls and strikes when it comes to politics. Yeah, Vin is different when it came to Colin Kaepernick. I understand that, but at the same time, you're never going to expect a person to be 100% with you. You're never going to expect someone to be completely aligned with you. So I think it's just take it for what it is.
Of course. Plus, try to explain to an older person that that Colin Kaepernick wasn't kneeling to disrespect the flag. He was born in what, the 20s? Vin's like, how old is Vin?
Vin was born in 1927. He's 93 years old.
Yeah, he's lived through a lot. So try to, explain to your grandpa, the reason why people are kneeling instead of standing when they were raised on, you're supposed to stand and put your hand over your heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. Imagine trying to, take a knee in kindergarten back in '93. It's like, wait, what's going on here? Whatever, you Russian, you dirty Russian. Back in the day when communism was alive. But no, it's modern times. You kind of have to explain to grandpa, no, things aren't all the same. But going back to Vin I mean, I kind of feel like we should like preserve him now. Maybe we should just freeze him and wait until some new technology where we can unfreeze him, and then we can get Walt Disney and finally put him for war crimes during World War II.
And you really get Vince Scully's take on the Negro League system. My favorite team I wish never went away was the Atlanta Blackcrackers, the ABCs.
Yeah, let's hear that. And we'll go to the Cholos to be the judges on that. They'll be like, "Hey, fool, leave him alone. He's cool, dog. Don't worry about it."
Technically, he's not right. ABCs is pretty cool. It's like basic, like 1, 2, 3 ABC.
I mean, he knew Jackie Robinson. Like everyone, that's all. Like first thing I said, I was like, "Yo, he knew Jackie Robinson. He called this game. Leave him alone, man."